Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. It is the year 2224 and the PlayStation Network is still online. We've only run into two empires so far. One of them is a fallen empire, the Amari Archivists. They're not really friendly to us, but they're not super hostile just yet. And the other empire is the hierarchy of Bak, and they are definitely not friendly. So we built a star base in this system that's kind of a choke point. We've upgraded our base as much as we can so far, and we built a defensive platform, and we have parked our fleet in this system to help defend. If you remember in the last video, our science ship was damaged by some strange crystalline entities. The ship had to make an emergency hyperspace jump, so they were damaged and they were missing for a bit.
Anomalous surface variable detected. Special project complete.
Our examination of the preliminary data shows that the ship-sized crystals may at first appear inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signatures emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with caution. Thanks a lot, scientists. They attacked us, so I kind of figured they were hazardous and should be approached with caution, but they are nonetheless fascinating creatures. Our other science ship has made a discovery. Thorough scans have revealed the cause of Curious 3's odd metal composition. The planet is the crash site of dozens of massive spaceships, larger than anything we could have ever imagined. Their construction dates back several million years. The materials will surely come in handy. And here's the planet they were talking about.
Technological acquisition successful.
It's got 2 alloys that we can extract, so that will be good in the long run. But meanwhile, our damaged science ship has been repaired and they are ready to redeploy and get back to work. They were being repaired over here at a base near Earth. So I'm going to move them down this way and have them survey systems over here. And you can see already there are a couple of potential choke points that we can fortify and defend.
Construction complete.
Meanwhile, our construction ship was working on an outpost up here, so now I can get them to build some mining stations, and that's basically going to be the mission of the construction ship. This episode is building outposts and mining stations. One of our science ships has discovered that a large mineral-rich asteroid collided with a planet that I'm going to go ahead and pronounce Foahiri 2A at some point during the previous 1,000 years in what must have been a major impact event. An abundance of minerals can now be found on the moon in the vicinity of the impact crater. This is a fortuitous event because we can grab those minerals, baby. But never mind that for now. We have earned another tradition point. We are still working on the prosperity tree. We've only got 2 options here. Complex drone output increased by 5%, and then also an optimized nexus district that gives us more housing. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the complex drone output here.
Construction complete.
Our construction ship has created another outpost. Meanwhile, the hierarchy of Bak are expanding at an alarming rate. But I'm building outposts as quickly as I can and trying to choose good systems to do it in. We're going to go ahead and build mining stations here. I'm holding off on the research stations for a little bit.
Construction complete.
Just trying to get mainly minerals and energy credits right now. and then any other type of resource that we know how to mine. So we've got our mining stations in that system now, and there are a few systems we could go with. This one has 12 minerals available, so I think I'll go there next with my construction ship.
System survey complete.
A massive crater on Sethelbach 4 appears to be the result of a collision with a starship. From the size of the crater, we suspect that a ship exiting a hyperlane at maximum velocity rammed the planet for reasons unknown roughly 10,000 years ago. The PSN scientific module has picked up residual subspace echoes near the crash site reminiscent of a collapsed hyperparticulate field. But as the ship itself disintegrated on impact, the theory cannot be verified. Remarkable.
Construction complete.
Our construction ship is putting in some work. We have a new outpost. So let's build some more mining stations. We're not expanding as fast as the Bok, unfortunately, but we are still expanding.
System survey complete.
Here's an interesting discovery. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Vite C1. The massive script covers a large portion of the planet's upper hemisphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Fascinating. Having probed the frozen landscapes of the planet Sethelbach 3, we think we have struck something big. Science Officer Helperbot Q7 speaks of a bacterial life form unlike any other. It bonds with other individuals to form large blankets that are durable yet light and also act like solar cells. They absorb solar energy with a surprisingly low efficiency loss percentage, most likely a result of evolution favoring those who could gather more heat in the harsh climate. Our researchers back home could surely find some use for this information. So we have two choices here. We could find out if this can improve our energy production, or we can try to find a military use. We are machines, so we can definitely benefit from more energy production. So that is what I'm going to go for. And about a month later, we got a report that our energy development researchers have made progress with the samples we sent them from Sethelbach 3. They have been able to develop a new type of solar cell using the organisms as a template. These are much more efficient at storing energy and will provide a boost to all our power plants. Marvelous!
Special project complete.
The crystalline entities, the name itself a compromise between rival factions of xenobiologists and xenogeologists on Earth, are probably alive. An earlier and perhaps more descriptive name for them was silicate animate matter, as they have little in common with biological life. They are solitary beings, each individual crystal sovereign, rarely seen with more than a sentinel and a smaller cohort entity. Aside from the cohort and sentinel clearly being subservient to the sovereign of the group, the subtle nuances of the crystalline entity's socio-hierarchical relationships are lost on us. The entities do not seem to mate, and yet we have yet to observe any crystals that are recognizably older or younger than others. Contrary to an early hypothesis, the shifts in hue between individual crystalline entities seem to be related not to their age but to their latent internal charge, which can be violently unleashed, and it appears as if those sporadic fluctuations in this charge alter the refractive properties of the crystal. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying all along, and that sounds potentially useful, but on the other hand, what are the military applications? So we basically have two choices. I guess one is sort of peaceful and the other one is military applications. This time I'm going to go with military applications because we have the hierarchy of Bok Bok on our doorstep, and I think we need to be ready for when they attack, which they surely will.
Construction complete.
Our construction ship continues to put in some work. Maybe I should build another construction ship. I don't know. That's something to think about. But I'm basically trying to fill in some of these blank spots in our space, and also kind of prioritize systems that have better resources to take advantage of. And we're kind of running out of obvious places to go. But there is an obvious defensive choke point right here, and I think I will go there next and have them build an outpost. One of our science ships apparently found what they call a mineral construct, and they report that the mineral construct is, for lack of a better term, a room made out of the same type of minerals in common use in the PlayStation network. The construct is a hollow icosiddodecahedron. I'm going to go with that. Resonance scans indicate that it is mostly hollow and was likely inhabited at some point in time. Unlike its pristine exterior, the interior is in complete disarray. That's a lot like my personal space here. Complete disarray. Possibly the result of an intentional act of sabotage. Well, I did not intentionally put my personal space in a state of complete disarray. It just kind of happened. But anyway, I digress. Science Officer HelperBot Q7 reports that this makes it difficult to learn anything of value from the construct's insides, but stresses that the engineering techniques involved in creating the outer shell, eminently capable of withstanding the stresses of deep space, must have been tremendously advanced. Okay.
Construction complete.
Now we have a new outpost up here at this choke point. So we've got several good defensive choke points covered at the moment. We'll get to work on some mining stations here. But hold everything. We have encountered some strange form of vessels. These strange objects have been flagged as Epsilon aliens, and we need to start a special project to learn more about them. Hopefully this is, well, I don't know. Hopefully this is another empire, or hopefully this is not another empire. I'm not really sure what to hope at this point. But it doesn't matter either way because they are clearly not vessels. They appear to be space squids of some kind. I don't know whether to be glad or sad that there are not another empire, but either way, we're going to go ahead and research. But never mind all that. We have earned another tradition point. We can close out the prosperity tree with the optimized nexus, which will give our nexus districts one additional housing. So that's good. But more importantly, we have earned another ascension perk. We've got a few to choose from. We could increase our starbase capacity, which I'm kind of tempted by that. We have technological ascendancy, which is what I thought, man, I should have gotten that earlier. We could lower the cost of clearing a blocker. We could raise our leader level cap. We could raise our edict duration, our administrative capacity. Or we could get shared destiny, which has to do with, I think, immigrants to our space. And I don't think that will even affect us as a machine empire, but I'm not sure. Starbase capacity is tempting, but if you remember when I got my first Ascension perk, I chose something else, and then I second guessed myself afterward and thought, man, I wish I had gotten technological ascendancy. So I'm going to do that now.
Construction complete.
But you're about to see why the increased Starbase capacity would have been a good choice, because we finished an outpost up here. Or actually, we finished building our mining stations. But notice in the upper left-hand corner, we now have a deficit in our energy credits. So the obvious thing to do is to send our construction ship to a system that has a good number of energy credits to mine. There are some up that way, but there are a couple down here with 5 energy credits, and these down here will kind of help to fill in our empty space in our empire, so I'm going to do that. But also, these last 2 outposts that I built can be upgraded, and then once they're upgraded I can add solar panels. But the thing is, upgrading from an outpost is what counts against your Starbase capacity. So right now I have capacity for 4, and I have 2 upgraded ones, so upgrading these 2 will put me at maximum capacity. But never mind all that. We have now established communications with the artisan troop. These are clearly not the space squids, but the artisan troop has established communications with the PlayStation Network. So it's a big day, and we have earned some influence. And here they are, and they seem actually kind of glad to meet us. They say it's a joyous occasion, so that's nice. They're worried about their manners, but they say that they have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of art, music, culture, and all other things which machines basically ignore. So I'm not sure if this is going to do us any good or not, but at least they're not hostile, so I'm happy about that. And here's their starbase. It's a very cool looking starbase, but it is quite a distance away from our space. Not exactly on the other side of the galaxy, but pretty far away. But I think this is a good place to stop this video. Things are going okay for the PlayStation Network so far. We'll pick it up here next time, but for now, as always, thanks very much for watching.